Voit. Coming into the golden pocket, coming into this previous volume area, we couldn't go up. And unfortunately, we're losing support. We're still... That's the thing about this these corrections. It can go up, it can go down. I think, did you ask me before? I said before this is a good place to take profit when it was up there. But the point is, are you trading this or are you accumulating it? Do you have enough value in fiat to keep on buying and you're not too fast because we're still going up? Or are you trading? You know, that's the question. And I think I talked about that. I said it would be nice to go up and clear that liquidity to get more of an extended flat correction. It's not happening. What I'm seeing is very similar to other tokens, which is more of a falling wedge correction. So when I'm looking at my token of choice, which is TRVL, yeah, I'll pull it up side by side so you can see what I'm saying. Let me go to the 12-hour charts. Yeah, I'm seeing something very similar in that towards the end of this correction, you see we're seeing a little bit of a falling wedge. See that? Seeing the same thing here. Yeah. So you're getting that kind of behavior on a lot of tokens right now. It's a little bit of a falling wedge correction. Obviously, some tokens behave differently, but that's, you know, there's their different dynamics or their fundamentals and the way they move. You can't, it's not 100% like for like. But this last part is, you can see it's very similar, okay? So what does that mean? Nothing really, we're still correcting. Maybe it's something like this. Yeah, maybe it could be something like that. Like, we just have to see what happens. That would be something more like A, B, C, D, something like, it would be something more like that. Again, it's very much to do with Bitcoin, what's happening, and it's happening across all the tokens. Yeah, just because we've lost that SR flip, I wouldn't say that we've lost it yet. Why? Because I think just try and focus on the higher time frame. Don't get too distracted with the lower time frame. So higher time frame, go to the weekly time frame. Okay. So we haven't lost it yet. Let's wait for the week to finish. Okay. That's the previous high. You don't want to lose that. Now, even if you lose that previous high, you have 1 week to reclaim it. Yeah, that happens a lot. It happens a lot where you lose it and then the next week just closes right back above it. Okay. But if you see that the next week, if we lose it, it's a big if you lose it and then you come back and you're finding resistance back on it, then that's not a good sign. Okay. So it all depends on the week that follows. If you lose it, because you're looking at a higher time frame level, if you do lose it, you want to back test, and it's basically with this higher time frame candles that you can get a clue of what's happening with the price. But I mean, if you want to zoom in and try and get an early hint, you can try. And what might be happening is we might be just trying to fill this volume gap. There's a little bit of a volume gap coming back to this pivot here. You see how this expanded up. Let me just get rid of all these Elliott waves. Again, Elliott waves is very subjective and it can change. So you have, I have ideas. It was looking really strong and you were back into support. So it was a good place to buy for an ABC up. And actually what this means is that actually going up, it's going to be slightly more difficult because you still have all this trapped liquidity that hasn't been cleared yet. So maybe the first impulse will be just to get into that liquidity, you know, whereas before I was hoping it would be more bullish to go and clear it with an extended flat. This means that if we do an ABC down to here, then the next wave could be just to get into that liquidity area first to clear it for continuation, because you have to clear it. You can't just walk through previous volume levels. Yeah. So you just have to see how this plays out. And again, it's very, very much, everything's got to do with Bitcoin. Bitcoin is in a C correction right now. When you look at Bitcoin, we're in a C correction. Wrong one. What's the C correction that I'm talking about? A, B, it's like a C happening here. How does that correspond to Vaiot? It's like a Vaiot started earlier. No, like that. It's kind of like that. Actually, Vaiot started leaking earlier. See, Bitcoin is quite a flat correction right now, and Vaiot, you're having a little bit of a zigzag, a little bit of a deeper correction. If Bitcoin finds strength, then I think this will find strength quite quickly. Yeah, it's possible. I'm not too worried about it. But I mean, I'm not fond of losing those SR flips. So I personally, like, I'm not buying, I haven't been buying this. I should have been, because I said it was bullish, but I think if I wanted to buy into this now, let me tell you where the best place is now. And you know what the problem is you just come into that higher time frame golden pocket. The higher time frame golden pocket, you just can't mess around with it. Definitely not underneath this pivot here. Oh no, it's lower down. It's here. That was the correction. It's taking you far down, huh? Like 13 cents. That would be very deep. Be a good place to buy though. On this trend line. Can you imagine if it came down to this trend line? That would be a really good place. Hit it for the third time. That'd be really amazing. Is that possible? I don't know. That would be the best place here, but you'd have to land on the 18th of April at exactly 15 cents. That would be the best place. But you have a little bit of a high volume node here. Yeah. That corresponds with the golden pocket. But that's all you got. I think more likely than not, if we go down, just looking at all of this, because of the golden pocket, which is there, I think it has to, I think we have to see what happens, you know, like the weekly candles are important. This volume is decreasing. You see the volume, that was quite a bearish volume. Look at that increasing red volume, but now this volume is decreasing. You see, decreasing price is decreasing volume. So we're not seeing crazy strength in the continuation. And if and when Bitcoin finds its feet, you're probably going to see an increase in volume with increasing prices. Probably. That's usually what happens, because a lot of people who are selling will just buy back in, and they'll just try and buy back in. Maybe that person who sold there is looking to buy back in lower down. Maybe they're setting limit orders. Who knows? But I think what you got is this. You got this big white, green candle, and there's a volume gap. We're at the top of the gap now, and it pretty much goes all the way down to there. That would take you into the golden pocket. It would look bearish, but that's probably where you can expect to bounce, in that area. Yeah. Yeah, that would be a good place to bounce. So probably that would be a good place to pick it up if we go down. But ideally what you really want to see is just get back above there, and that would be nice. That would be better. All right. So you have a couple of options. You don't want to buy into weakness. So right now would be weakness. You wouldn't just willy-nilly buy. You just wait for a little bit higher to see a bit of strength, and then you can buy. Or lower. So you buy strength or you buy lower. You look for lower or you look for strength. Yeah. Don't just hope. And it doesn't really matter if you were to just keep on buying now compared to where it would be safe. It's 15%. When you're building a portfolio, it doesn't matter, because you're only scaling in. So to lose 15% of that small position that you're scaling in with higher after you see strength onto support is much better strategy than just trying to catch a falling knife, which is effectively what would be happening. You know, it's like falling. Who knows how long this can continue? We just don't know. And then if the price does get down to this area of interest, that would be a good place. Yeah, because you will expect some sort of support to hold just because of the golden pocket, little value area here, and you're coming into this higher time frame trend line. It could get close. All right. Again, everything has to do with Bitcoin. Yeah, so Bitcoin drives the market. If Bitcoin suddenly crashes tomorrow, then none of our altcoins are going to have hope, but that will probably end up in some kind of V-shaped bounce, probably, and it will just everything will follow Bitcoin in that respect. No coin is going to hold up if Bitcoin dumps, crazy dumps. There will be no coin that holds up against Bitcoin crashing. It's just not going to happen. Shoot, you see, we have seen a little bit of weakness on Bitcoin now. unfortunately. It's kind of holding that, but it's not. Maybe we're going to make a higher low. I don't know. All right. That's today. Thanks, guys. Appreciate you coming. It's gone on for a while. And then just remind me tomorrow about Proppy. Okay. Let me just remind us of what I'm thinking. Local Wednesday. Nope. We're not holding that level, unfortunately.